Welcome back to my channel. So this is day 5 of Vlogmas. If you guys are new to the channel, thank you so much for stopping by. But if you guys are my regular babes, hey girls, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? Come in, y'all. We gonna have a little girl chat. I know y'all ain't think that I was gonna give y'all Vlogmas without giving y'all a little girl chat. As you guys know, this is December. This is the last month of the year, and I'm gonna need for some of y'all to take out the trash, okay? So these are 5 signs that it's time to let go of this toxic relationship. And y'all, honestly, I'm gonna be very transparent with y'all. I was dreading doing this video because this year has been very, very tough dealing with guys. I've actually learned so much about myself, and the good, the bad, and the ugly. I dealt with so many guys this year because I don't want y'all to be like, what you mean by that? But I'm gonna be real, I have ran through so many guys this year now. Not sexually, but like, you know, so many felt talking stages this year. And things that I really learned about myself is that I do not know how to let toxic relationships go. You can see it in the pattern. You can see it in the pattern. So for starters, before I give you guys the 5 signs that you should leave a relationship alone, understand this. If you continuously keep seeing the same guy in your, like, let's say you dated your ex and y'all had a toxic relationship, y'all broke up, y'all not talking no more, and then you're talking to another guy, his name is Bobby, but Bobby is acting like your ex. Then you get done with Bobby, then you talking to a nigga named Roman, and Roman is like Bobby and your ex. What I've learned this year is that God is going to continuously put you through the same hurt until you get it, that you gotta change. And in order for you to end up attracting better men in your life, you have to look within yourself and you have to really ask yourself, why do I keep attracting these certain type of guys? Like, why do every guy that I talk to have the same type of characteristics? Like, what's going on? And that's what I learned about this year. I learned that I keep talking to the same type of guys because I don't love myself as much as I thought I did. I always thought that I loved myself. Like, I've always been the one to be like, yeah, I'm cute, this is and that, but like, the way a guy treats you is a reflection of how you love yourself. These are like the 5 signs that will let you know, hey, it's time to go. Number 1 is when he takes more than he gives. Let me explain that. You are dealing with a guy that just takes from you. He takes your time. He takes your energy. Let's say that you're the type of girl that likes, you know, giving guys gifts. He takes your gifts. He takes your kindness for weakness. Like, let's say that you're dealing with a guy that just takes, and you could physically feel yourself getting drained. He never gives. He never gives his time. He never gives his energy. He says that he's gonna buy you things and you're never able to see it. And the thing is, I don't want to bash this last guy that I messed with, but this last guy that I messed with really traumatized me. And honestly, like, he's honestly the reason why I'm not talking to no guys right now. You know, I dealt with this one guy and like, he would constantly say that he was gonna buy things for me and he would never buy it. He would always say, oh, I'm gonna get you this. And mind you, y'all, I would not even ask him. This boy would legit run to try to go get it. Like, he would be like, oh, I'm gonna get you this, I'm gonna get you this, and he would never get it. Like, he would never get it. Like, oh, remind me next week on this and that, I'm gonna get you that. And then I would ask him, I'll be like, hey, you know, I'm reminding you to give me ABCD, and he would act dumb as if he never told me this. Let me tell you one thing. When they want you to have something specific, oh, they gonna run to the store and get it. Because this boy would legit tell me that he was gonna get me all these other things, like, you know, stuff like Bath and Body Works, makeup, and you know, like girly shit, you know, and he would not get it. And he wanted me to get a toy, and if you guys know what I'm talking about, he wanted me to have this specific toy that I could use. He was running to go hurry up and go buy it for me. Like, he was like, oh, okay, give me your information, I'm about to put the order in. But I had to tell him like, oh no, like, I don't want the toy or this and that. It's very funny how like when he benefits off of it, you know, because, you know, if I'm using the toy, he gets to watch. And mind you, this is a long distance relationship, you know. You already know, like, y'all already know, when he wanted to use toys, now all of a sudden it's running to go get it, but it's for his own benefit. It was not for me. If it didn't involve him getting something out of the transaction, he didn't care to do it, you know what I mean? But he will always lie to me and make it look like he was gonna do it for me. Ladies, if you guys are listening to this story and you guys are feeling like, you know, the guy I'm talking about in this story sounds like your man, get rid of him. Because these men will literally take until they cannot take from you anymore. They will use you up until you're dry, until you're drained, until you're emotionally unavailable like them, till you're tired, and then they will go get a new girl and leech onto them. That's how these men operate. So it's better to get out of there when you can. When you start seeing patterns of taking and never giving, get out of there, because you're gonna be very sad in the end. Number 2, if he shows any type of negativity towards your goals and your future, get out of there. A lot of these guys, they will literally sit around and a lot of men are jealous of women. I'm just gonna blatantly go out there and say it. A lot of men are jealous of women. When you see men sitting up here talking about, any man that you can see that will sit up here and talk about women that wear makeup and this and that, when they talking about women who are wearing makeup, don't need to be wearing makeup, makeup should not be made, this and that, they are not mad that makeup is made. They are mad that they do not have something to make them be glammed. You know what I mean? They don't have really much to glam them up. The most a guy can do is change up his hairstyles, you know, get a fresh fade and, you know, probably grow a beard. But they don't have, like, you know, full glam like how we do and how we're able to be creative. And a lot of those men that talk so much about women wearing makeup and wigs and all that stuff, they're jealous of women. So when you are dealing with a man that is jealous of you, it's gonna be very hard for you and him to grow in y'all's relationship. The thing is, they not blatantly gonna come out and say, oh, I'm jealous of you. You have to catch them. So, like, let's say you talking about your future, right? Like, let's say you're like, oh my God, like, let's say for instance, you want to start like a nail, like, let's say you're a nail, you want to be a nail tech, right? So let's say you tell your significant other, let's say you're like, babe, like, I am so excited to be a nail tech. Like, I want to be a nail tech. Like, I got this new brand, this and that, this is my brand logo. Like, I'm ready to start having clients. And he literally was like, ugh, everybody wants to be a nail tech nowadays. Like, all of y'all want to be nail tech nowadays. Like, why can't you choose a different profession? Boom, that's a hater. I know some people probably be like, well, how is it a hater? It's a hater because it's like, even if that's how he feel, because you are his significant other, he should root for you. If he knows that it's not gonna harm you or harm him in any way and it's gonna make more money for both you and him, why is he trying to stunt on it? Like, why is he trying to make it look like, here you go being regular, here you go being cliche? Like, he should want to root for you and he should be like, yeah, babe, like, you know, I can't wait for you to, you know, get yourselves and this and that. Like, I can't wait for you. You are dealing with somebody that is low-key hating on you, y'all. The relationship would never succeed. And I don't even want to bring up this guy again, but I'm exposing him. I don't care. Basically, the last relationship that I was dealing with, for starters, the last relationship that I was dealing with, he was so toxic, y'all. He used to hang up the phone on me whenever I would say something that he didn't like. He would hang up the FaceTime call on me. And mind you, the things that I would say would not be enough for him to like hang up. Like, he was very sensitive. He's like I said, these men know what they be doing. A lot of these men, they try to train you to act a certain way. So basically, whenever you're dealing with a guy that is like acting like this, you got to get rid of him. But I would never get rid of him. Started basically changing myself to suit him more. As I will say, there will be things that I will want to say to him, but I'll be like, oh no, he's gonna hang up. And that's what he wanted. Like, I was able to talk to God a lot about this relationship. This relationship taught me a lot when I talked to God about it, and when I was watching sermons and I watched so many YouTube videos, and I was just able to learn a lot. Basically, this guy was basically trying to mold me and sculpt me in a certain way, to the point where, like, I couldn't confront him about anything, because I knew that if I confronted him about something, he was gonna hang up, he was gonna shut down, and he didn't want to talk about it. And one of the main reasons why guys do that is because they know that if y'all really get to talking, you gonna expose some shit. So to avoid that, they will hang up on you, or they will shut you down, or they'll be like, I don't want to talk about it, so they can, you know, like, get you to be quiet, right? That's what he used to do to me a lot. And then I remember one time, going back to my point of number 2, you know, I was making a joke to him. I like to eat. I don't know if you guys see it in my body, but I like to eat. You know what I mean? You know, he was on the phone and he's like, man, you're always eating. And, you know, I didn't see no offense to that, because he don't eat like that. So he probably think I'm always eating. Like, yeah, I'm always eating. I'm trying to lose weight. Like, y'all already know that if you try to lose weight, you got to have a calorie deficit, but a high protein diet. So, like, people with a high protein diet, you're constantly eating throughout the day, you know, to hit your protein goal. He's like, man, you're always eating. And mind you, like, he was acting like I was eating McDonald's for breakfast, Chick-fil-A for lunch, and Subway for dinner. Like, nigga, I would be eating like rice and chicken for lunch, salad, protein bars, like protein shake. Like, it will be like healthy food, but he will always try to make it look like I'm just being fat. Like, that's the type of well, I am fat, but you know what I mean. Like, he tried to make it look like, you know, I'm just like, you know, being like, you know, being the Grinch that stole the kitchen instead of Christmas. You know what I'm saying? And so he made a joke saying that I was always eating. I laughed. So I told him, I was like, man, I said, I don't know. I always tell my friends this and they always laugh. I said, I'm really sad that there's not going to be no food in heaven. Because I was basically, I always tell my friends this, like, I don't understand why God doesn't have food in heaven, because I personally feel like food is a very delicate, like, item. Like, food is so good. Like, how could God not, like, give us food in heaven? You know what I mean? Because in the Bible, we're not going to be eating. I mean, in the Bible, I don't think it says anything about eating in heaven. You know what I mean? So I just made a joke like that. And I was like, man, I'm so sad there's not going to be no food in heaven, because I like to eat. Tell me why this boy, mind you, we were on FaceTime. Tell me why this boy looked at me in like the most disgusting look that I ever seen him and said, who said you were going to heaven? This is somebody that I am so invested in. This is somebody that I would never say nothing like that to him. Never. Even if I don't think he's going to heaven, I would never come out of my mouth and say that, because of the love that I have for him. So at this point, when he made the comment, I was so shocked. I was at a loss of words. I didn't know what to say. Like, I legit just stopped in my tracks, and I just, mind you, we're staring at each other on FaceTime, because when I was talking to him, I had my phone set down on the counter because I was eating. So when he said it, I ended up grabbing my phone and looking at him like, are you dead ass right now? So I grabbed my phone and I look up at him. I guess he sees how I'm looking, and he starts trying to change his story. He's like, I mean, I'm just saying, like, you know, like, and mind you, I didn't say nothing. So it's like, why are you trying to change your story? Like, why are you trying to change your story now? And I haven't said nothing to you. Like, I haven't said a word. You know what I mean? He knew in that moment, like, he got caught slipping. And the thing is, the thing with a hater period, whether it's a boy or a girl, when you are dealing with someone that's a hater, whether it's a friendship or relationship wise, a hater gonna try to hide how much of a hater they are. A hater is gonna try to hide how much of a hate. And I don't want you guys to, I want you guys to understand this. Somebody who is always being negative and somebody who doesn't, like, you know, spew positivity into your life, they're a hater. A hater is gonna slip. The thing with a hater is they try to hide their tracks and they try to make it look like, you know, they're not doing much or they're not a hater, but they're always gonna slip. So if you close your mouth more when you're around them and let them talk, they're gonna talk themselves. They're gonna tell on themselves, basically. And in that moment, he told on himself, and he could see from the way I was looking in the camera, he could see like, oh shit, I got caught. So now he starts stuttering and he's like, oh, like, that's not what I meant. And I was just like, and so like that really stuck out to me. Like in that moment, like legit, like I kid you guys not, the Holy Spirit spoke to me and was like, this is who you're dealing with. That is legit what the Holy Spirit said to me. And it just gave me chills. Like, it just gave me chills because I just kind of felt like, damn, like, I'm dealing with a guy who don't even think I'm going to heaven. Like, I'm dealing with a guy who thinks I have no chance of going to heaven. Like, do y'all not know, like, how, like, I know you guys might, I know some people might watch this and be like, it's not that deep. But do you not know how disheartening that is? So when he is negative towards your goals, or if he's negative towards what you are trying to aspire to do, that is a toxic relationship. And since you gotta let him go. Number 3, I know number 3, you guys might not really, some people may not agree, but if you guys argue a lot, y'all are not compatible. I know some people have been through relationships where they got into it a lot, they ended up making it work out, but that's not what I mean. If you guys argue a lot in the beginning of the relationship, you guys are not compatible. Because my question to you is, what are y'all arguing about? What are y'all arguing about? Y'all don't know nothing about each other. If it's a month into the relationship and you guys are arguing, what makes you think that that relationship is going to get any better? And what makes you think that it's going to get any better anytime soon? That relationship will get worse before it gets better. If you guys always are arguing about something, you're always arguing about something he did, or he's always arguing about something y'all did, and then y'all never come to a conclusion, why are y'all together? Now, I can understand if you guys have been dating for years and then y'all get to this point where y'all start arguing and bickering a lot. That's different because you guys have been in a relationship for a long time. So you guys are kind of used to each other. And sometimes when you're used to somebody or when you're around someone for a long time, you can sometimes step on each other's toes and sometimes cross on each other's boundaries. If you just met that man and you guys just started talking and y'all are always arguing, leave him alone. That relationship is not going to get no better. To piggyback off of the guy that I told you about, the last guy, and I know you guys are like, oh my god, why do you keep bringing him up? He is the reason why I'm making this video, because I want to make sure that you guys do not deal with what I dealt with. I told him in the beginning, I said I block guys easily, because I really do. But the thing is, I block guys as easy as I block guys, I forgive them easy too. So I used to tell him like, oh, I block guys easy, and this boy straight up told me, I don't care about you blocking me. He said, I will call you on every other number till you answer. Y'all need to learn how, I know this generation love being toxic, but y'all need to understand that that is not the type of love that you're looking for. You want the type of love where a man respects and cherishes you enough to make you not want to block him. Y'all, I don't know, I've been seeing a lot of girls on TikTok all happy about, like, you know, guys emailing them when they block them. That is not cute. That's not cute at all. That is not cute. In order for you to block a guy on every social media site and block his number, that means that guy disrespected you to the core. So why would he email you? Are we praising the fact that he emailed you? Why wouldn't he email you? Like, he's gonna email, like, especially if you're the type of woman that's doing everything for that guy. Why wouldn't he email you? Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's basically letting his maid get away. He's not gonna let his maid that works for free get away. So of course he's gonna email you. He's in a desperation mode. But we as women, we take it as period. He know where home is. No, he doesn't. We need to stop glorifying toxicity in this generation. We really do. Basically, everything I'm telling you guys is what God told me, and it's what I told myself. Like, I cannot go through another toxic relationship. I'm done. I'm tired of men. I'm so serious. I'm tired of men. I've been dealing with nothing but toxic relationship for so many years. It's getting to the point where, like, I just kind of feel drained, and I kind of feel like, I don't mean to be negative, but I kind of feel like I would never find the guy that is not toxic and is just loving, you know what I mean? Because I just have not seen nothing but toxicity. But the problem is, I didn't know how to let go of it. And like I said before, if God sees that you're not learning your lesson, He's going to continue to put you through the same cycle over and over and over again. So you might as well cut the cycle now. Number 4, if this guy is emotionally unavailable and he is not a good communicator, leave him where he at, sis. When you are dealing with a man that is not a good communicator, there's not going to ever be a discussion about something that let's say, for instance, let's say he does something that you don't like, right? Let's say you call him and you get to talking to him about it. This is signs that you're dealing with a guy who is not a good communicator. Number 1, he shuts down. I.e., the guy that I was talking to, he will always hang up on me, or he would threaten to hang up on me, and it would scare me. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I know, and it's so embarrassing saying it, but I'm gonna just keep it a buck with you guys. It would scare me, because it would just kind of make me feel like vulnerable, like, oh my God, I can't say this. He's gonna hang up on me. He would dead ass threaten me. He'll be like, I'm about to hang up on you. And I'll be like, okay, like, that's molding. That's manipulation right there. Molding me to make sure that I don't say what I want to say, because if I say what I want to say, I'm going to end up exposing what he did. So shutting you down when you're trying to explain your feelings and you're trying to express to him how he made you feel, he shuts you down. That's number 1. Number 2, talking over you. So let's say you're giving him examples about how you did not like what he did, and he cannot, for some unknown reason, he cannot be quiet. He's literally debunking everything you're saying. He's listening to talk, not to hear. He's not listening to take everything in and to be like, wow, okay, I understand what you're saying. I'm sorry about ABCD. No, he's listening to talk back to you and to fight with you. It's kind of like a debate. He thinks you guys are doing a debate rather than, oh, wow, okay, maybe I didn't see it like that, but maybe I did hurt her feelings, and let me just apologize to her. But even in the midst of him apologizing, he could be like, hey, look, I didn't mean to do that. That wasn't my intentions, but I am sorry because I understand that I made you feel that way. That's a good communicator. When you are dealing with a guy that is a bad communicator, he's going to shut you down. He is going to deflect. He's going to bring up something that you did the other day that he didn't like, that he never told you about. But now that you're telling him about his wrongs, he feel like he got to write your wrongs on the table for, you know, like, what? Like, why are you bringing up the shit that you should have, if you felt some type of way about me doing it right then and there, you should have confronted me right then and there. He didn't use the tactic of hanging up on me. He will also use the silent tactic. So There will be times where I will, you know, express to him that how he did something that I did not like, and he will just sit silently. He will not say nothing. He will legit, we will be on FaceTime, and mind you, I have my camera propped up, and I'm telling him, hey, I don't like how you did ABCD. Like, I really don't like that. I don't appreciate that. And this boy will legit be looking at me like this. That's legit what he would be doing while I'm talking to him. He would legit be doing huffing. He'll be huffing. He'll be puffing. Like, this boy would be acting like he was a big bad wolf, huffing and puffing. Like, he would be acting as if like I was bothering him or something. Also, when you are dealing with a man that is emotionally unavailable, it's going to be very hard for him to see what he did was wrong. And it's going to be very easy for him to play you. You have issues with something he did, or if he hurt your feelings and you're trying to express it to him, he's not gonna care. He's not going to care because he's emotionally unavailable. Like, he doesn't have emotions. His emotions when it comes to you are shut off. When a guy really likes a woman, like when he really likes a woman, he is going to turn on his emotions for her so he can be able to see where she's coming from, if she has any issues or concerns, because he wants to make sure that even though you guys are going back and forth, and even though you guys got into a fight, he still wants to make sure that he can prevent that fight in the future, or like he can see where you're coming from and apologize for his wrongdoing. Number 5, this is the last one. He comes and goes as he pleases. Y'all, let me explain that. That is a very dangerous man to be around, because those are the type of guys that will love bomb you, that will make you feel special, that will make you feel like you are the only girl in the world. They'll be on FaceTime, on the phone with you 24/7. They'll be taking you guys on dates. They'll be taking you out to eat, and 1 week he'll just disappear. You'll text him, he won't text back. You'll call him, he'll probably text you and say he's busy and never return the call. Asking to hang out, he starts making up excuses, or sometimes he doesn't even say nothing at all. He just goes into an ignoring stage. Now you're in a frenzy and you're in your room, you're depressed, you can't come out, you can't eat, you can't do nothing, you're overthinking, you're thinking, what did I do wrong? Did I do this wrong? Is he with another girl? Does he not like me no more? Oh, he's just chilling. He's at home chilling, and he's just, you know, doing his own thing. Like, he kind of has this type of attitude of, I'll get back to her when I feel like it. I don't care. I'll get back to her when I feel like it. So as the days go on, you go from being heartbroken, but then as well as you being heartbroken, you kind of come to terms with the fact that he's ignoring you. And so you're like, okay, well, you know, even though I'm heartbroken and I'm not feeling good and I'm confused about this situation, let me live my own life. Like, he's not checking for me, so I'm not gonna check for him, right? You might be heartbroken and you might be going through it, but you ain't gonna show it on social media. You still got him on social, so you trying to flex on him, you know what I mean? You know, you posting your pictures still, like, you know, you doing your thing, you still working out, you still eating right. Then the boy watches your story and he sees that you living life without him. Now, to you, you already know what it is. You already know that you're not living life without him. You know what I mean? You know that you sad about the situation. You know you feel some type of way. But to him, he watching your story like, oh shit, like he see you going to the gym. He seeing you go out with your friends, you having fun. He seeing you, like, you know, live your life, like do your own thing, like, you know, get into your own like motion. He gonna come back, because as far as he's concerned, he gonna be like, he gonna get to thinking like, damn, she look fine. She look too fine without me. Boys think like us. Like, boys think that we are like them. So his mind is gonna go to, maybe she's talking to a different guy. Maybe she's talking to a different guy, and that's the reason why she doesn't care about what I just did. Let me come back. So he's going to text you and ask you what you're doing, or how are you doing, or just something, right? Because you have been love bombed, manipulated by that guy. You've even had sex with him. The sex was great. You might ignore him a couple of times, but eventually you're going to give in. He's going to come up with an excuse as to why he left you. You guys are going to get into an argument about it, and you're going to give in. Ladies, please understand that if a man is able to ignore you once, he will always ignore you again. And also understand this. If a man ignores you once and you let him get away with it and come back, he is going to look at you like a fool. These men know what they do. They know what they do. They know what they be doing. They are not dumb. A lot of the times we try to make it look like men are not smart. Men are very intelligent when it comes to playing on women's emotions. They know what cards to pull. They know what they're doing. So if he ignored you, sis, the best thing to do to make him never ignore you again is to leave him for good. Not leave him for a month, leave him for a year, leave him for good. Leave him where he at. And honestly, you do not want to be with no guy that is putting you through an emotional roller coaster where one day you guys are having a good moment with each other. The next day he's ignoring you and you're wondering where did you go wrong. You don't want to deal with a guy like that. Why would you want to even put yourself through that mentally? That's what I had to tell myself, because the same thing with this guy. He never really ignored me, but there was one time where he just blatantly ignored me. Like, we did not get into no fight or anything, but he just blatantly ignored me. And I was calling his phone, texting him. And another thing, y'all, save all those paragraphs and all that. Save that for yourself. Don't send them paragraphs. Don't be blowing up their phone when they're ignoring you. A lot of guys, they get adrenaline off of that. A lot of guys, they become very egotistical. Like, if they see a girl like blowing up their phone and they're ignoring that girl, they get happy because they kind of feel like, man, like she on my dick type shit. Like, she really like me. I got her where I want her. She never leaving. That's how these men be thinking. So that's basically what I was doing. I was blowing up his phone, texting him, because like I said, I was just so used to always being with him on the phone. I just kind of like just felt empty. I'm gonna be real. I felt very empty. The boy ended up ignoring me for 2 weeks, and then he came back. And basically what I just told you guys is everything that happened. And mind you, he's not the only guy that's done this. I've seen it happen several times with many guys. So he comes back because I guess he sees that like I'm chilling. Like I'm like, you know, I came to realization that he was ignoring me, and I let him be, right? So when he comes back, he comes with an excuse and everything, and I end up talking to him again. One day he did it again. He ignored me again. But the good thing about this one is the second time he did it, I got out. That was like the last straw. Like, we have been dealing with so many other things. I couldn't take it anymore. Like, I just felt like he just is so toxic. And the best thing to do when you are dealing with a toxic guy like that is, when you get out, you have to block them everywhere. Like, you have to block them, because if you don't block them and they're watching your social media, they'll start playing on your emotions, because they're gonna start sliding up on your stories. They're going to start trying to communicate with you. You might have told yourself that you ain't never gonna talk to him again, but when he start trying to, you know, get in contact with you, it's sometimes it's a different story. That's why it's best to block them on all social medias and block their phone numbers. And he had different phone numbers, so I blocked his numbers too, because I did not want him calling me. And yeah, that is that. Like, I stopped talking to him because I just personally feel like you're not gonna come and go out of my life as you please. Like, you're not gonna talk to me when you feel like it, then on the next time, you know, like, no, you're not gonna do that. So ladies, if this sounds familiar, please, I hope you guys are listening to this. I am begging you guys. I do not want you guys to be going through heartbreaks like how I've been going through heartbreaks. If I'm talking about any of these things, I'm not talking about, oh, if he's doing all of them, leave him. No, if he's doing any one of these things, leave that man alone. I'll give you a bonus one. If he don't have a relationship with God, leave him alone. Leave him alone. And I'm not talking about him saying, yeah, I'm a Christian. Yeah, I go to church on Sunday. No, if he doesn't have a relationship with God, leave him alone. If he doesn't know how to talk to God and come to God when he's not feeling good, come to God in his latest hours and stuff like that. Now, if you don't believe in God and he don't believe in God, that's a different story. But I'm talking to the people that believe in God. I'm talking to the women that are trying to be women of God. If you are dealing with a man that does not have a relationship with God, he is not going to know how to properly love you, because he does not properly love God like how God properly loves him. He doesn't have a relationship with God. What makes you think that he's going to have a relationship with you? It's the bonus. And don't be trying to change no man, because I tried to do that. I've dealt with guys that had no relationship with God, and then I tried to change them. I tried to, you know, hey, oh, we can be doing this to try to convince them to have a relationship with God. The bad part about it is that I was a lukewarm Christian. So how can a lukewarm Christian try to get somebody who don't have a relationship at all with God to have a relationship with God? Because they was probably looking at me like, okay, well, you talk about God one day and we talking about sex and drugs the next day. You know what I mean? So really, I'm not saying that if he doesn't have a relationship with God, it's not going to work. But I personally do not feel like it's not your job to teach him about God. He has to learn about God like that on his own. Like, it's not your job to teach him about God. Especially if that's not your husband. If that's not your husband, it's really not your job. You know what I mean? Ladies, it is the ending of 2022. Do not enter 2023 with a toxic relationship. Let him go. The time periods that me and him will not be talking, my relationship with God will be A1. And when me and him will start talking again, my relationship got bad because he drew me further away from God. That's all manipulation tactics, because they want to make you depend on them only. So when they leave you, you could feel it more. So when they come back, you can act better. You can act like a better woman, and you can know what it feels like for them to leave you. It's all a mind game. It's all a mind game. And a lot of these men are narcissists. A lot of these men are narcissists and they don't even know they're narcissists. And a lot of these men are playing for the devil's team and they don't even know. You guys do not know the devil uses people as spawns to get to other people. Spiritual warfare, all that stuff. The devil uses people as spawns to spiritually attack other people, spiritually attack God's children. When you are dealing with a man that is always putting you through so many emotional trauma, who is always coming and going as he pleases, one day he's love bombing you, the next day he's ignoring you, that is the devil using him as a spawn to get you hooked onto that man so you could depend on that man instead of depending on your father, which is God. I had so much stuff to get off my chest. I really pray and hope that this video got to y'all. Like I told you guys before, I'm all for the story times, I'm all for the vlogs, I'm all for the content, but I would not, I wouldn't feel right in my spirit if I didn't give you guys a girl talk. It's the ending of 2022. Please make the right decision and let him go. Hey guys, please give this video a thumbs up if you have not done so, and I love you guys so much. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye y'all.